All right, let's talk about stop losses and risk assessment. So here we have an obvious, clean, crisp, clear front side hold level at the wick. We have a clean, crisp, clear far back side. We are on a 3-minute time frame. Price went way away, untouched. These are levels I'm interested in trading. Let's also mark the top of the break level. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now we're in a 3-minute time frame. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put this here so we can easily switch. Let's go to 1-minute time frame. All right, so this level's the same on a 1 minute. This is not the same on a 1 minute. I want to move it to here. Now I'm going to go to 3 minutes. So both of these are 1 and 3. Let's go to 5 minutes. Oh, both of them are on the 5 minute. Let's go to 15. They're both on the 15. I'm very interested in these levels. So now let's do an assessment of how I might trade this range, because this is all one range. So the first thing I want to do is I want to measure if I took this trade up to just over the break level. I'm looking at about 9 points. If I trade from the wick, I'm looking at about 6 points. If I was to trade at the body, I'm looking at almost 5 points. If I wanted to just trade above just under the break level, I'm looking at 2.5 points. Would I be interested in trading ES with a 9-point stop loss right here? Probably not. Would I be interested in trading an ES with a couple point stop loss? Probably. The advantage of the 9-point stop loss over this 2-point is this. Price could bounce here. Price could bounce off the wick. It could bounce off the base. It could bounce halfway. It could barely touch it, come down. It could touch the break and come down. It could wick it a little bit and come down. And imagine, if you will, we had the IB high or the overnight high right there. It could touch that and come down. So although this has a larger 9-point heat, I have much more layer protection for this thing to bounce, which is noteworthy in my opinion. Let's delete these. Now I'm also wanting to be conscious of capital preservation, account preservation. So if I was to enter at this first level, I'm probably going to enter with 1 or 2 MESs, knowing that if price goes to here, I'm going to add 1 or 2 MESs. If price goes to here, I'm going to add 2, 3, 4, 5 MESs, depending on my appetite for risk, knowing that we could bounce here and go, knowing that each time I add, I am raising my break-even level, so it only needs to have a little bounce that I can get out. If it has a really good bounce, I now have 3+ contracts that's going to pay very well. So these are all decisions I have to be making of which contract, ES or MES, how many contracts am I going to scale into my position? How many layers of protection do I have? All of that goes into my equation, and there is no perfect answer. It is your risk profile. And I can't answer that for you. But this is how I look at it. I measure. How many layers of protection do I have? In this case, where there's an overnight high and this break level, I'm probably very interested in an ES trade here because I have a major overnight high helping protect my trade. If this overnight high was not there, I would not be trading an ES here because this is the very last point before price could just fly high. I want to trade ES where I have at least one or two layers of protection, additional places that price could bounce. So I'm not going to play ES at this very last level. This is the riskiest position to be in, but it has the least stop loss. Now let's go talk for a second if I was to enter here with one MES. Enter here with one MES. Enter here, let's say, with 3 to 5 MESs. And my stop loss is right here. Well, my break even is probably right here. And if price did continue up to my stop loss, where I added last and biggest only has a very small risk profile. So you don't lose very much on that trade, and you gave yourself every chance to make that into a very good trade, because we know that most often on the first run up to a break level, we're going to get a bounce. We all know that. So use that to advantage. Make your stop up here above the break level. How far above the break level? 2 ticks, 3 ticks, a point. Your risk profile once again. Did I get in right here at the break level? If I did, I might give myself a little bit more room for my stop loss. Do I have any levels back here that offer me protection as well? So all of those things goes into the equation of which level am I going to take, which contract, how many contracts am I going to scale into my trade? What does that look like? What's my maximum pain? And that is all for everyone to decide, because we all have different risk appetites. As we saw, you want to be cycling through your time frames, because these were 15, 5, and 3. These were really good levels. Let's press play. Okay, right here you have a level. I'm just curious what happens. So right here we have a level. Price clearly went away from it. You press play. Right there would be your entry. It went past the wick. It was up to you whether you did wick or body. At this point, you have to consider that tested. It bounced. Immediately, you should be moving your stop to at least a 1 or 2 tick point profit to protect your account. And you had plenty of time, and there's a loss. But it was a gain if you were Johnny on the spot, which you better be if you're a professional trader. Okay, so let's get rid of this level. Let's press play. While all of this action is happening, you should be deciding how you're going to trade up here. You should also be watching to see what levels develop. I don't like that this prices went away. I don't like the length of this candle. I'm not interested in this candle at all. I don't like it. 10 something points. No, let me go to a 1 minute. If I go to a 1 minute, all of these levels are already tested. I'm just not interested in this. This is a no for me. Press play. I still don't have anything. Here you could say you have this level. That might have been your best entry. It'd have been real quick. You say, oh, it didn't get 2 candles away. Well, it doesn't have to. I'm just trying to teach the principle of let price get away so it can come back. Boy, that'd have been a break even if you would have entered there. If you'd used the 2 candle rule, you wouldn't have been in that trade. Okay, prices went away. So here's another ladder. So this thing kind of laddered. This was the first entry. Let's see if you get a second entry. Right there, you'd enter. Little heat, immediate profit. All right. You would have been in that nice long. That would have worked. Now you have this. You're also entering your short up here. Which one are we preparing for? Our short or our long? This is getting exciting. Let's see what happens. It didn't get back for your long. Okay, at this point, you've got to be getting ready for your short. Am I entering here, 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 or here? Considering my risk profiles, which contract, how many contracts am I scaling? All of that needs to be already decided and your order already placed. Don't say, I'm going to wait till it touches and then I'm going to enter. Have your limit order there ready and waiting because you've already done your calculations. You know your game plan. Right there you enter. Okay, there's no doubt I would enter here with a small contract, almost a test entry, if you will. 1 or 2 MESs would be my preference at this particular level. It bounced immediately into the profit, almost 2 points. So I would have my stop there. I'd probably lock in a point. How many times do you hear me say I locked in a point? And there's 2 full points. And then you'd have probably gotten out with a 1 point profit. Okay. This level's dead. We have this as a new hold level. What are we going to do? Let's watch. Am I going to go long? Right there I went long. I know I would have went long with my out being just below this. And if you're savvy, let's say you entered 1 MES here. Where's your out? It's just below the break level. Very small risk. You might even have done ES on this one. We're laddering up. This is the third rebuy. We had 1 here, 2 here, third one here. You have to count that as a third one, even if you didn't get in the trade. It hit the backside. This is the 4th rebuy. That could definitely be a good ES because it's very small. I mean, dude, just less than 2 points. Very nice. So you're in this long. So let's say you entered 1. Well, here you could sell 2. That automatically puts you short 1 contract. Let's see what happens. Right there would have been your out. Very nice. Now you're short if you went off the wick. Okay? Let's see what happens. See what happens. Okay. So you'd have had to front run it. Well, that one you'd have probably been in right there because that's only 2 ticks. If you'd have front run it by 2 ticks, you're in. If you didn't front run it, you have to be out and now only enter at the base. Right there, you got into the base. It was quick from 21 to 19. That's 3 points. So you should have done well on that. 1 or 2 points, you're out. Okay, if you were going to play the break level, you're almost there. You probably would not have gotten in right there. It's too far. That's a point and 3 ticks. You're definitely not in yet. You're not in. Right there, you'd have been in. Right here, you would have been in. All right, with your out right up here. I wouldn't do this with ES because you don't have anything else to bounce it. You could do it with ES because it's the greediest point. Once again, everyone has a different risk appetite. Touched it on the nose. Oh, you'd have done very, 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 very well. So this is how I do my risk analysis. This is an example of laddering up. Just to double clarify. So this is like the first entry. I would not. So we're going down. This is the first time it's bounced to go up. I want to see that happen at least once, if not twice. Here's a second rebuy. Here's a third rebuy. Okay. And we all know that if it goes in waves of 3, the second and the third one are typically the best ones to be in on, not the 4th, not the 5th, but you could still do it, and your stop is always just under the break level. All right, guys, that's a really great discussion. We went over a lot of things. Hopefully that was helpful.